Welcome back. Rellism Sports Talk, episode 91. 91? That's crazy. We got to do it on a Wednesday night tonight because tomorrow is your boy's birthday. Tomorrow's my birthday, so I'm going to go ahead and do this today and then get ready for the NBA playoffs. So, Drew Fro Legend, just to let you know, and number 33 or 31, where you at, 31? Tavon or JT, Friday Night Raw. Y'all all have the invites. Just let me know, and you can get on with my boys, and we can debate all those big time storylines, especially after the draft. I definitely want to get it in there with 31 and JT, see what's going on. Drew Fro Legend said he's right. He's about it, so we'll see what happens next week. But check us out on podcast if you listening in the car. YouTube channel if you're trying to see what we talking about and see how we crack it up. And on Facebook, our Facebook page, my boy Tommy runs. And then we always got the merchandise custom made for whatever your likes and desires are. So subscribe, hit us up. Let us know if you want to join in on the debate. If you think you got what it takes to get in, come on with it. Because this episode, we talking NBA playoffs, big time NBA playoffs, and other NBA big-time storylines. We're going to throw a little baseball in there for my man Drew. But it is some big things popping. I think the biggest thing popping right now could really help baseball a lot. And, of course, we got fantasy football back. And why is that relevant? Because your boy just activated both leagues that he won in. That formerly known as T League is the Rellism Sports Talk League and the Fantasy Rehab League. So if you were in those, it's made up again. You can check out your old teams and just see the formats, go over the rules, because obviously other people need to see how it's played because they're trying to get some of these also. But anyway, let's get to it. NBA playoffs living up to the hype. We had 3 out of the 4 series at 2-2. So it was big time games. But yesterday's games were 2-2 smashes. 2-2 smashes. The Heat. After Joel Embiid came back from 0-2, Joel Embiid came back in his 2-2. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little nervous. You know what I'm saying? If you watch the Raw show, I'm out here running my mouth, putting money on the line, $50. Shaman, don't forget. You know, other people, I'm going to have to rewind the tape to see who else I was betting. I know Brandon was trying to get on that $50 too. But but the Heat came out, destroyed the 76ers. Made me feel a little bit better. But the craziest thing about it is, I mean, I would have picked the Heat to win that game, coming back home, whatever. I mean, I picked them to win the series. So of course, I think they're going to win game 5, crucial game. But the 76ers, they're going to come out in the press conference talking about they were lackadaisical. And Joel Embiid's like, we weren't engaged defensively and we got to be more locked in and the ball didn't move enough. Listen, I like Joel Embiid and I wish I could cheer for him, but I just can't because of the company he keeps. James Floppin Harden, can't cheer for him. Can't do it. But listen, homeboy, you got to stop running your mouth, yo. You running your mouth, you calling out players all indirectly, but we know what you talk about. And then when Harden has a big game like he did in game 4, you talk about that's why he was brought here. That's why we got him here to do all these things. Hey, well, let me tell you something. Playoff Harden ain't consistent, buddy. It ain't consistent. So when you go to a crucial game 5, and how you can be lackadaisical? What you mean? What you mean you ain't engaged? You ain't locked in. It's 2-2. You were down 0-2. What else you doing? And people want to blame the coach. I mean, Doc Rivers gets blamed for all kinds of things, probably fairly. But I ain't blaming him for no 2. It's 2-2. It's 2-2. If you can't pump yourself up and get ready for this road game, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why y'all ain't on the same page. I don't know why y'all ain't doing things. I don't know what's going on. That shows there's problems with you, with y'all. But then you go throw a shot like the ball didn't move enough. Well, you know when you got James Harden, he holds the ball. He dribble, flop over. But it worked good the game before because he had the best game ever as a Sixer. But then when y'all lose, you're going to say that. I don't want to hear that. You get the ball smacked in your mask and you crying on the floor and everything. We thought you got punched. The ball hit you in the face, homie. And don't get me wrong, I know that whatever's going on with your orbital bones and all that, it hurts, whatever. But I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. You can dominate. Bam Adebayo is an all-star for Miami. But when you on the court, he becomes small. So play big. Stop crying. Stop blaming things. Do more. Do more. But I know why he didn't, in my opinion. It's because of the MVP. He thought he was going to win MVP. I mean, he thought he was going to win. He was like, I don't know what else I had to do. That's what he said afterwards. So obviously it was on your mind. Obviously you're thinking about that. But my thing is, why are you thinking about an individual award? And granted, I've never been in no situation like this. So, whatever. I know he's still a human. He wants to win that. Cool. But like the Joker right now is going to win that. He won that. But he ain't even going to get it at a game, not a playoff game. He ain't going to get it in front of the crowd. He ain't getting it in front of nobody. He going to get it at his house. He going to go to some building and go pick it up. I'm sure he'd rather be still playing, trying to win a chip. So Embiid's going to try to change it around. Like, I got my eyes on the Larry O'Brien. No, because game 5, you was crying about the chip. You was crying about not winning the award. You was crying about that in your mind. And that's why you were crying when the ball hit you in the face. Weak-mindedness. I don't like weak-mindedness, but you fit the team. You might be stronger-minded than others because Harden and Doc Rivers are weak-mindedness. And I mean, look at the rest of the players on the team. I mean, ain't nobody really won that except for Danny Green. Danny Green got over there with the Jefferson haircut. Yo, check out Danny Green. I hate Danny Green because he was a Spur. Keith knows what I'm talking about, even though he won a ring with my boys. But anyway. So, but we look at it, man. The Heat, like I said before, their depth. They're deep. That's their identity. They play what their identity is. When you watch a Heat game, you're like, that's how the Heat play. When you watch the Sixers, it's like, what's going to happen? Is Maxey going to do something 101? Or is Tobias Harris going to show up? Or is they going to do pick and roll with Harden and Embiid? Are they on the same? You don't know what you're going to get. And when you don't know what you're going to get with people that you don't know what they're going to do in the playoffs, it's a recipe for disaster. And I think the Heat are going to go to Philly and close this out. At least I hope so. But I think it will, because Jimmy Butler is a superstar. If you watch the last Raw episode, they're talking about Jimmy Butler's not really anything. Really? Jimmy Butler's not a superstar? He might take that Heat team to 2 out of the 3 last finals in the Eastern Conference. The finals that has James Harden in it, Kevin Durant in it, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and all the Celtics and all these boys. Let's not forget about that. Kyle Lowry was out. Don't matter. They're deep. I mean, they got boys I ain't never heard of. The one dude that starts the shooting guard, SPOs, whatever. They got players. You got Hero coming off the bench. Heroes coming off the bench, 6-man, and Oladipo. I keep telling y'all, he's going to be a difference maker for that team, yo. He's going to be a difference maker. But I think the Heat's just too deep and well coached to blow this. I know it's been 2 out of the past 3 years that Joel Embiid's been there. I call him Joel MVP because I think he should have won again. And a lot of people, it's funny how a lot of people out here are saying he should have won too. It's the eye thing. I'm not looking at whatever it says on paper. It's the eye. When I look there, the Sixers have no chance to win when he's not there. And I think we saw it in the playoffs, right? They got this 2 games. It didn't even look like Philly had a chance. Denver. Yeah. Jokic. Good job, Jokic. You made it to the 6th seed in the West. Very good, buddy. Very good. You won 1 game in the playoffs. And here's my thing about it. Jamal Murray was out. And the other, I don't know why I always forget his name. But anyway, I say you switch Joker out. You take this past series, take Joker out, put Jamal Murray in. I think you'll get the same result. Denver will win 1 game. So when I'm looking at it is, yeah, the stats will tell you Joker did this, Joker did that, da-da-da-da. But he's not somebody that's going to be a difference maker to change the game of everything going on. We can talk about whatever we want to, because James Harden ain't been on the 76ers all year. So let's not play like he was. Ben Simmons still ain't played. So Joel Embiid was doing the things he was doing with Joel Embiid. So let's not play these games about the Joker versus him. But then again, I don't even know why I waste my time on the MVP award, because I can go through years upon years upon years upon years when the real person that should have won didn't. I mean, Kobe twice with Steve Nash. I mean, we all know. We already know. You ask anybody that really knows basketball, we know what's going on. So the Heat destroyed the 76ers. If the 76ers have any heart or anything in their body, they will come to play. I hope they don't. But I think the Heat are built for this. I think their team is built for that. You know what I'm saying? I think they're going to close it out. Hope so. Next game, the Suns and the Mavs. The Mavs, same thing. Mavs come back. Luke, that boy's nasty. That's Brandon's boy. He's nasty. Dynamic player. I mean, he's one of my favorites. He's probably top 3 in my opinion, for my favorites. And he played better on defense, and I loved it. Yo, when he was bullying people down in the post, that's what Chris Paul usually does. He was doing it to Chris Paul, and it was kind of like, oh, it was good to see. It was fun to watch. But the Mavs bench scored 19 points. Phoenix had one player that had 14. They had 38 on their bench. This is what I tried to say in the beginning. Too deep. The Maverick starters, there are 5 starters on the team. 2 of them scored 0 points. 0. Not for the first quarter. Second quarter, halftime, whatever. For the game. 0 for the game. The game. When the Suns had 3 of their starters in double figures, and 1 starter had 7 points, and that was Chris Paul, but he also gave you 10 assists. You see the difference? Luka is as great as he is. It's just not enough for him. And Mark Cuban, as rich as you are, and Jason Kidd is showing me that he is way better coach than what I might have gave him credit for. Maybe he should have been our head coach. But he's out here doing things and putting the lineups in. They live and die by the 3. We know that. They live and die by the 3 because they don't have a lot of options. They don't have a lot of options. They stand around and watch Luka dance, slow motion dance, and doing all these things, and maybe he'll kick it out. Maybe he won't. Maybe I don't know. We're going to just watch him dance. Do the Luka dance. But they need a swinging big man, a swinging forward. Somebody can throw the ball. Somebody can make buckets and attack the basket. Luka needs something like that. He needs some kind of player like that. They have to find something for him. And don't waste his talent, dude. He's got dog in him, and he's got heart. He's got everything that you would want. Box office. Dallas, please don't waste his talents, please. The Suns, I'll tell you this, though, because when it's 2-2, just like the 76ers with their people, Chris Paul, he got a pass. Chris Paul's got a pass of, I won't say failures, but letdowns. And if they would have lost this game 5, all the demons were coming back. They were already coming back. They were already coming back already. And then his family's getting attacked by people in the crowd. All kinds of stuff's going on. Ayton ain't playing like the man. Ayton, what are you doing? Ayton, how'd you go from hard to wimpy? FD, wimpy. Come on, Ayton. What's some of these big man punks? I ain't never seen nothing like this. I love listening to real announcers like Kenny Smith. What would he say? What game was it? He was like, man, you that big? You going up that soft? He said it about Ayton. He said it about Ayton in the game. Come on, dude. You should be dominating these dudes, killing these dudes. You relying on your bench and Booker to do all these things. Ayton, come on, man. You are number 1 pick. I know you got paid in college and you really never had to work for nothing. But come on, man. You should have to want to after losing in the finals last year, because these chances ain't always coming. But I'll tell you what, the Suns, they better win game 6 and close it out in Dallas, because you do not want to go back home. Even though you're going back home, I don't care that you're going back home, because game 7, anything can happen. And if anything can happen with a superstar like Luka, who can make anything happen, and your bad luck, don't do it. Win game 6. You better do it. Chris Paul, you better do it. Now tonight's game, I had to get this in before the game started. Bucks Celtics 2-2. I was wrong. I thought the Bucks weren't going to win another game. They did. But the big difference in that was they had a couple days rest. Giannis had 2-3 days rest in between those games. Now you ain't getting that. You getting a travel day and then play. Travel day and then play. And you can see he's exhausted. He's laying on the floor. He was laying on the floor. And it's not about the minutes because people were talking about, Al Horford played this many minutes and all these minutes. Giannis has to do way more than Al Horford. Al Horford sets a pick, stands there waiting for the shot and shoot. Giannis got to pass it to whoever's open, attack the rim. He got to play defense. He's got to do all these things. And, he gets hammered differently than other people like Shaq does. Different kind of skilled players like that. You don't never know what's a foul or not because they're so big and so agile and everything. And I love Giannis. I feel bad for him because he don't have Middleton. You know what I'm saying? Middleton would have changed this whole series. Playing defense, being able to go one-on-one with the ball, spreading the floor for Giannis. And Tommy, I don't care what you say. You said there's a Middleton on every team. Go tell Luka that. Go tell Luka. Ask Luka if he wants a Middleton. Exactly. Middleton changes things. He changes things. He can play defense on Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum or somebody, and he can score his own buckets. Giannis is having to do everything. And I hate Stephen A. Smith talking about Giannis can't do it. Giannis is undermanned. You got Grayson Allen and Pat Connaughton coming off the bench. And he ain't playing way more without Middleton. These guys are bench players to come in for sparks and for little runs. And they go sit your butt down and let Middleton do his thing with Drew Holiday and Giannis. This is the way it is. Everybody knows their role. He knows their role. You can't ask somebody to expand their role. That's their role. Sorry. Only certain players can expand their role. Only certain people have ever been able to do that. And neither one of them is that. I appreciate the heart that both of them are playing with. Grayson Allen's playing way better than I ever give him credit for because he's a Duke player. And Pat Connaughton played at Notre Dame, and I liked watching him play. I never thought he was going to be this good, but he can't do more than what they're doing. Giannis is doing everything. Brooke Lopez has to do more. Drew Holiday has to do more. Those are the two guys that have to do more, and I don't even know if they can do more. But Bucks. And they might surprise me and come into Boston and win this game because Giannis is that good. But I just don't see it. Because I look at Jason Tatum, and after his first series with going against Kevin Durant, and people say shutting down, having signature moments, dunks, game-winning play at the end of game one, you have to do something now in round two to keep this legacy train going. You have to do something. You have to win this game, and then win the next game and shut it down in their place. You have to do something signature, Jason Tatum, because you can't have this, look what I did in this game, and then you have playoff where you don't do that in the next round. You can't do that. Because right now, Jaylen Brown's looking like the guy. And I'm talking about the money. Jason Tatum, of course, he's going to be a max player. Jaylen Brown is looking like he's earning more money by the minute. By the minute, Jaylen Brown is. And then you got Marcus Smart. He's going to have to get hit. He's defensive player of the year. Second guard to ever do it behind Gary Payton. Since 1996, So Jason Tatum, you have to step forward and do something and do it. Take charge. Stop shooting so many threes. Go to the rim. Do things that you can do. I'm just saying for legacy builders, man, you have to do these things. And that's why Curry don't get the love that he gets. And we'll get to that because of his playoff situations. But what can we say about Big Al? Hey, Big Al. The dunk on Giannis. And then the fourth. This series is the most exciting series. I'm sorry. I knew it was going to be. It's competitive because both of these teams could win a championship. Legitimately. They both could win a championship. Because I think they're both cohesiveness and togetherness is different than like the 76ers. They got the talent to win, but they haven't been together. The Heat have. You look at the Suns, they've been together. They can win the championship. The Mavs, they don't have enough. Bucks and Celtics, they're right there. Bucks won last year. Celtics have been in the Eastern Conference Finals a couple times now. So that's why it's the biggest. That's why it's the biggest series. Because then when you look at the Warriors, now they're 3-1 without Ja. Because the Grizzlies are inexperienced. And I've been trying to tell everybody, Aaron Brooks needs to go. Cut him off the team, play with somebody else, get him away from here. The stuff he did at the end of that game was horrific. Get him away. You need to go get another guard in free agency. And people will play with Ja because Ja will pass the ball also. But when you ain't got no Ja, no chance. Because I think he would have slowed them down and they wouldn't have had these bad shots toward the ends of that game. My thing is, Jackson, where's the heart at, dude? Who on the Warriors are you scared of? You should be down there. You're gifted so many ways. Why are you just always pushing some three-point shot? Stop pushing stuff and go push down low and get down there and do things. Jax, skilled player, very skilled player. Love watching your game, but you be flopping it. You need to have Adams. Adams, remember Adams from OKC? Yeah, Adams, and he needs to be in there with Jackson. He needs to be in there with Jackson. Let Jackson play the 4 and run that lineup. Telling you, let that run. You still got Clark coming off the bench to spell either one of them. Adams needs to play more. He's got playoff experience, and he's not scared to bang with nobody from Golden State. Who's Draymond gonna guard? Which one? He's got to pick one. Then the other one go off. Don't get it twisted. Steven Adams can score. Don't get it twisted. The Warriors don't even look they 100% together yet. They still flipping their lineups. They doing different things. Kuminga and Poole are huge. Whatever happens with them going forward is huge. The Suns. If they play the Suns in the next round, that could be, and that's another series that Ayton would have to take over. But I don't think Ayton's that guy to do that. I don't know, man. But I think the Warriors close it out tonight. Steph and them close it out. Valiant effort from the Grizzlies. Because the Grizzlies, the future is super bright. Who expected you to be the number 2 seed in the West? You learn. And this reminds me of old school basketball when teams had to beat other teams. You know what I mean? Celtics were there. Celtics beat the 76ers. And then Detroit had to come with the bad boys to beat the Celtics. And then Chicago had to come beat Detroit. You know what I mean? That's just the way it was. You know what I mean? And I feel like the Grizzlies are on that same trajectory doing that. They got their superstar that people will pay for. And I hope so. It's a good story because I like seeing stuff like that. It's cool. It's not as cool as seeing my boys get rid of LeBron and come back, but that's another story for another day, maybe on Raw. But and I love Monty Williams for the Suns. I love him for the Suns. I want him to be the Lakers coach. But how the heck is Taylor Jenkins not coach of the year? You talk about Monty Williams, who took a team, they were the number 1 seed in the West. Y'all went to the finals last year. You went to the finals. So what people expect you to be? Nobody expected I'm going Vancouver. The Memphis Grizzlies to be the number 2 seed in the West. And win a playoff series. And you ain't coach of the year? That's why all that stuff's overrated too. All that stuff's overrated, man. I'm an eye test guy. So that's the playoffs format, I think. I think the Heat tomorrow night finish it off. Suns finish it off tomorrow night. Celtics take that 3-2 lead. Warriors close it out tonight. But in other big-time storylines, the Nets GM coming out. The Nets just trying to stay relevant all the time. GM coming out, talking about I need selfless and available players. I just think that's kind of weird because we started looking at that and everybody's like, that's pointed at Kyrie. I wonder if Kevin Durant asked him to do this. Because, Durant's a little softy too. He's a little Kleenex, cottonelle tissue type dude. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. He's a Facebook thug and a Twitter thug. He's one of them. But when it comes down to it, he one of them too. But everybody said he was talking about Kyrie Irving. And I like it. But is he also talking about Ben Simmons? We started looking at Ben Simmons. You ain't played either. You ain't available. You said you was going to play that game when they needed you to play the elimination game, and you were like, we're down 3-0. I can't handle that pressure. My mental state can't handle it. What is going on? I want to go up to my boss and be like, yo, I can't come to work today, yo. My mental state, yo, my my mental problems, yo, I can't do it, yo. I'm gonna need like 3 months off and like all paid and like an exclusive vacation to Hawaii or something. Maybe that'll help me. What's going on? What's going on, dude? You playing a game. You're playing a game. A game. But on a past Raw episode, we were talking about the NFL schedule, and they're gonna have Christmas games now. And then we were like, Christmas games is NBA, you know what I'm saying? That's what, that's when we think the NBA starts for real. What's gonna make us watch it in NBA game if NFL games are on, especially that time of year with fantasy and all that going on? I came up with one, and we'll discuss it more on Raw. I came up with one game, one possibility that might make me just switch the channel just for a minute. I'm not saying watch the whole game, but make me switch and watch it for a minute. And that game is if the 76ers were to go on and win the NBA championship this year, they can play on Christmas. Now, granted, I hope Ben Simmons is 100% healthy and ready to play against the Nets in Philly. So Ben Simmons got to deal with that crowd in Philly against the world champion 76ers. That might make me switch over the knob for a minute to see James Harden and his championship saying, yeah, I left. I got a championship with Embiid. Yeah, to go against Kevin Durant and Kyrie and Ben Simmons in Philly. That might be something. That might be something I would watch. And we'll talk more about that on Raw and see what other people say. So let me know in the comments if you think if that would make you turn the channel just for a little bit or not. But now we're going to get into some baseball real quick for Drew. I'm going to just tell y'all something about baseball that's going on real quick. I don't talk a lot about baseball until when it really matters. And the Mets are playing the Nets tonight. Why ain't I at that game? What the world? But the best things for baseball right now, the Mets are in first place. As great as that is, that's not what I was thinking. The Yankees are in first place. As great as that is, that's not what I was thinking. The Dodgers are in first place. As great as that is, that's not what I was thinking. The best thing for baseball right now is that the Anaheim Angels are in first place. And the reason why that's good, because they've been irrelevant. Rookie Reed Detmers just threw a no-hitter for them to get him excited. And they got arguably the best hitter in baseball for the past, decade? I don't know. It Mike Trout that ain't been celebrated for nothing. This dude he should have been a celebrity. I'm sure he is a celebrity, but you know what I'm saying? Like Mike Trout has been the dude, and his team has sucked. You know what I mean? Now he can get celebrated. They keep winning, and show that they got some players on their team that are box office a little bit. But none of them are the one and only box office. Ohtani. You got Ohtani in first place with Mike Trout, with a rookie pitcher throwing no hitters. That makes baseball get some juice. And they need to roll with that juice and keep pushing it out. Don't let this go by, Major League Baseball. Don't let it go by. Ohtani in first place with Mike Trout, and y'all just do a no-hitter with a rookie. That's big for baseball, yo. Speaking of big, as I am a Notre Dame fan, I know we can't win in the big games. I already know. But we got the number one recruiting class. I don't know if that means anything, but we got the number one recruiting class. Maybe we get some of these boys that can pick with these SEC boys. Maybe Kelly had to get out of here, so we can get somebody in there that can get a certain kind of athlete. Maybe Kelly couldn't rub shoulders with certain kind of prospects on the gridiron. I ain't trying to say nothing because he's a good coach, but sometimes you can get a certain kind of coach or something to relate a little differently to a student athlete. But I'm excited. We'll see. We'll see how Notre Dame does. Like I said, tomorrow's my birthday. And it's also the schedule release. 8 p.m. tomorrow. We get to see who's playing, what times, when. So that's going to be a big time thing for our show. And fantasy football's back. So if you've been in our leagues, go check out the page. Go check out the page. Like I said, again, Jufro Legend. That boy number 31. Tavon. JT. Y'all want some of the smoke? Come get some of the smoke on Friday Night Raw. Because we're going to be talking about NBA playoff fallout, Tom Brady's new TV deal. Dallas is trying to get another NFL team. We're going to talk about the second year QBs, which was going to make the biggest jump. Of course, we're talking fantasy football after the schedule's released. The Joker, MVP, we're going to really take a dive at that. We're going to look at our baseball teams, the people on the show, how we looking at that. You know, because a lot of us have first place teams. Not you, Drew. And then we talk about big time storylines all across everything. And we facing all comers. So come in, join in. We like seeing fresh faces to smash. Thank y'all, guys. I appreciate it. Rellism Sports Talk, episode 91. Let's go Celtics tonight. I love you, Giannis, but let's go Celtics. We out, episode 91. Happy birthday to me tomorrow. Love you, mama.